Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I've wanted to do one of these for the longest of time. So what we're going to do today is a what's in my bag photography edition for 2019. I'm going to do a videography one as well because there's quite a drastic change that happens when I'm doing a videography setup. But I know a lot of people are interested in what kit people use, and a commonly used thing I get asked is what camera I use. So this will answer that as well. So starting off, we're using the Lowepro Flipside 500 All-Weather Mark II bag. This has been sent to me by Lowepro about a year ago actually now. This is long overdue for me doing a video on this, but I thought it would kind of kill two birds with one stone, as we can cover obviously the bag itself and then the gear that's in there as well. So this is one of the reverse opening bags, so you need to take it off to open it, which I feel is a lot better because obviously it's a lot more secure. You can't access the main compartments. Better for kind of peace of mind, I guess you could say. So I liking that. Some other bits that you might notice, I've got a flares capture on the side. These are the Isolate Pros. I use these for all my live work. So when I'm doing photography, these just squash up and go on my ears. They're just absolutely superb. I've used these for years, since literally they've come out, and I don't go for anything else of hearing protection. I have got a set on the other side. These are just some earpiece ones from Amazon. Kind of similar, but they let a lot more sound through. This is more, I don't know, just a backup pair if I don't have my isolates or I lose them, for example. So going around the bag itself, one of the key things I love about this is there's a little bit under here that pulls out that you can attach a tripod around. So especially helpful if you're doing events like me and you want to do pans and stuff on your cameras. You just clip your tripod in there, and at the bottom, under this piece of Velcro, there's a part that comes out to slot the legs into. It's nicely tucked away. It's quite difficult to get out, but and then you just put your legs in there, clip it in the top, and then it can take a full tripod. Now I use the Manfrotto X Prob 4, the 190 for my work, and that fits in there, no worries. So if you're wondering what kind of tripod you can take beefy ones like Manfrotto, no worries at all. So on the side we've got some nice mesh panels. I've got some empty packets from some bars I ate over the weekend. I did do a photography shoot this weekend. Same on the other side. Nice strong carry handle on the top. You've got another one of those clips on the other side. There are a couple of loops on there as well, if you want to put anything around with carabiners. Now the back part, I have pretty bad back pain every now and again, so this is really nice and soft. And then you've also got waist straps as well, so it takes all the load off your back and it puts more to your hips, so it does distribute the weight a lot better. At the moment there's not too much in there, but if I was, for example, putting a laptop in there as well, it would get quite heavy, so that does kind of help out there. On the actual straps, you've got nice adjustments. Little bit you could put a carabiner on there for other accessories. Same on the other side, obviously a clip to go between both. Same for the waist strap. They're nice and padded as well. You've got a couple of channels, which kind of is where some air can get through, so it does keep your back not too hot, but obviously it's quite thickly padded. You can see some sand coming out of the bag from when I shot Pride last year. Now at the very bottom we have got an all-weather cover. This is where even more sand's going to come out from the bottom and goes all the way over. Really simple, you can do it in a moment's notice. I used that this weekend as well. Just literally pulled it up in a few seconds, and then you've got peace of mind knowing your gear's all going to be nice and dry. So same thing with putting that away. Tight with the elastic, but of course you're going to want it to stay put, so better to have it too tight than not enough. That just goes straight back in, seals back up, and then you're good to go. Another loop on the bottom there if you want it. So let's actually get into the bag. Before we get to that part, there's a part on the front. You can put a tablet, some pens, if you want to put little pockets for business cards, things like that. I've got a couple of batteries in the front here. There's also a clip as well if you want to put your keys on there. All right, starting to digress. Let's get into the actual main the original version doesn't have the tripod part on the front, so I did ask for the second one specifically because I do take a tripod quite a lot. So this is currently photography layout. As I did say, there will be some changes I'll go over if we did a videography style. But key things, so primary body is the GH4 from Panasonic. Used this for a few years now. Obviously, I do use this for the video on the channel. This is the Metabones adapter for the Canon mount. It's not the speed booster version, but it still does a good job anyway. I did want to get the speed booster one, but it was just too expensive at the time. I was already forking out for the body and a lens to go with it, so you know, you had to make a few cuts in terms of budget there. But yeah, absolute tank. It hasn't got weatherproofing when you're using the Metabones, so just bear that in mind if you do use it for photography. Yeah, just be careful with where you're shooting with it. But I use this with the Lexar professional memory cards. Just got a second one for the upcoming IFA trip next month. But these are the XE2 cards as well, so they've got more contacts on the back, and then you can get a card reader that works with them, and it's a lot faster. Haven't had any speeded problems with those cards either, so generally really good there. Photography wise, I'll use the 24-105. This is the f4. So not the widest aperture, but it does a pretty good job regardless. So yeah, it is the L lens. The cheaper version of the, you know, the 24-70s would be the ideal. That's the 2.8, but again, this is rather cheap now in comparison to the 24-70. So they have a Mark II of this as well, but this is the original one. But yeah, relatively good. I've done a lot of shoots with it, and obviously when I use the GH4, there's a crop factor, so it does punch in really far. So this is the Sigma 18-35, the primary lens I use for video, but it's what I used to use. It was the only lens I had a few years ago. I used to use this for photography. It's super sharp, but it just only goes to 35, so the range is just not there. If you're trying to do photography at a festival and you can't get into the pit, which has happened on a few occasions, it just doesn't get far enough. So this one goes in purely for the aperture. It goes down to 1.8, so it can go pretty wide, and it's good for low light, but apart from that, it's pretty much a paperweight on photo shoots. The GH4 doesn't do that good in low light. That's just basically why that's in there as a kind of last resort. Secondary body, this is my 600D. I've had this for crikey since probably 2013, maybe a little bit longer. This has done me very, very well over the years. I actually used this predominantly for 2018, just because it's got more megapixels than the GH4. It is a crop sensor 1.6, but the GH6 is even more cropped in than that, so it just allowed me a little bit more range. That's got a battery grip on it. Batteries in this last forever. I've got 6 of these batteries, but generally speaking, those two will do like 2 days. So that's, yeah, what I used back in the day before I changed the GH4. In here, I didn't really use this much this weekend, but I have put the 10-20 Sigma. It's the latest edition that I've got. This is what I use for my sit-down videos, just because I can get a lot more in frame, and I can have the lens and camera a lot closer to me. Using the 18-35 in this office was okay, but being the space limitations, the camera was quite far away, and I've only recently started using my external monitor with it. And if I want to use 2 cameras, for example, I have the 600D up the top like this. On the mount, I'll have the external monitor going from this. So obviously I've only got one monitor, so then I need the camera closer to see the camera that's on the GH4 that's looking at me. It just makes things a little bit difficult. So having this lens to get closer, the whole setup closer to me, just makes it a lot easier. This is a 3.5, I believe. It's not stabilized or anything, but this is, you know, mainly tripod use that has. So for the majority of things we use it for, it's fine, but kind of an expensive spend to just get a camera closer to me, but there we go. What else have we got in here? So we've got a 77mm variable ND. This is for the 24-105. The very top of the bag, we've got this little pouch that's nice and padded. You can take this out if you want to as well. All these compartments are interchangeable. You can take these out. For example, I've got one I'm not using, so I've stuck it against the wall, but you can easily take these out and adjust them to whatever you want. So for example, if you want to put a 70 to 200 in this part, you could move this one back a little bit further, and then you can easily put that in there. But for example, I'm using 2 lenses, so I'll just put that one in, and then you can fit the other lens in there as well. But yeah, nice and flexible. So for example, this long pocket, I've got the Black Rapid straps. This is the double set, but I generally only use one at a time. If you buy the double, you can use one at a time, which is nice and convenient. Also, can deodorant in there as well. We do have some sweaty weather at the moment, so always good to have. I keep a spare shirt in there as well. The top part, I would generally keep all my batteries, loose parts if you need any like wet wipes or anything like that. Some protein bars just for keep your energy levels up. Sun cream. Generally don't need sun cream in the UK, but this year's been a bit of an exception. To balance the poor low light on the GH4, I would like maybe go for the 18 to 35 with that lens, with that body, and then the 600 would take the f4. A little bit of a tricky scenario. They don't really match up very well. But obviously I bought these lenses primarily to do videography, and photography has become a kind of a side part of it, so I'm trying to do the best I can with what I've got. Other things to say about the bag, you've got a little zip pocket here, little section to put memory cards if you want to up there, and this can take it up to a 15-inch laptop. I have used my MacBook in there as well when I went to London. Generally put a flash unit in here as well for the rarity that I actually need it, but that will fit in this part here. Generally speaking, I think that's everything that's in my camera bag. Now, I know this has got a little bit long-winded, but I'm hoping that everyone has enjoyed this video and enjoyed a rough idea of what I use, because it's something that's asked quite a lot, so I thought we'd do a little video. Plus, it's a nice chance to show you the actual bag as well, the Flipside All-Weather 2. It's been a really good bag. I try and keep what I take down to a minimum now, just because, you know, weight over a whole day can be an issue, but for the majority of uses, this isn't too heavy. Just try and keep a laptop out of it, unless obviously you need to edit on the same day. So yeah, this has been my what's in my camera bag for 2019. I'm not sure how much it's really going to change, but I will do one from a videography as well, because there are quite a lot of changes that will be made if I'm going to be doing just a video shoot. So yeah, we'll do that separately. But that's it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed this. I know I did go a bit on a rant with the bodies and the lenses and stuff, but I know some people like to hear the technical details and stuff, so I'm hoping it's going to come out quite well, or I might just cut a load out. Who knows? If you enjoyed this video and you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Follow my social media for all the latest stuff about what's going to go live. There's quite a lot of stuff coming up. And yeah, thank you for Low Pro for sending this out to me. I'll put links to this in the description if you want to get one as well. And otherwise, I'll see you all in the next one.